Every person is entitled to their own opinion, and from what I heard, how it came out, he said these things in the privacy of his own home. So, can we, chastise him for what he said at home? Technically not. However, it was leaked. At the time when the information was leaked, it even mentioned that his special assistant, the young lady he was with at the time, is minority ethnicity descent. So for him to have said something derogatory to her um, was very interesting.
And so there was a big, uproar about it, and I was like, I wonder what he said. That was my first thing is, I wonder what he said. What exactly were some of the comments? I was definitely shocked and surprised, especially from an individual who, no doubt, has to have the interaction with a lot of different players from different ethnic groups.
It brings up a huge racial concern because if you look at the NBA, I mean, it's so diverse. You have a huge population specifically of African American males, but you have people who are overseas, who range from a variety of different ethnicities. But I also looked at his age. I mean, he's 80 years old. So the time period in which he grew up, I think about my grandmother's time period. There was a lot of racial tension during their younger days. So I could easily see how his thoughts and his ideas could have carried forward.
It's hard to say, if he's a racist or not. When we talk to our students now, you can see that there's a big difference in the way they think versus the way their parents thought. And a lot of it is because of exposure. A lot of the students growing up now have a lot of exposure to other ethnic groups. What I think is a more important thing is he definitely has some stereotypes. And I think that's probably the biggest to get out of this. It's not a good thing to have those stereotypes because it doesn't apply to everybody. And I think when you start applying stereotypes to everybody, that's what gets you in a lot of trouble.
Actions speak louder than words. I mean, when your actions continue to display things over and over again and you develop a pattern for something, I mean, you see a duck, he quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And I don't know his personal life, and I'm not going to say specifically what he is and what he does, but his comments were very racist. Whether he continues to own the team or not own the team, they're at a loss either way. Because you haven't, if he owns the team, now you have an owner who has publicly displayed that he has no value for your ethnicity. So you may have an organization that says, or athletes or team owners or players or presidents, whoever may say, you know what, I no longer want to work for the Clippers organization. I don't know if the word fair can even be used. So if he stays, the team is at a loss because everybody's probably going to leave. And if he sells, then he's going to make millions of dollars for selling. I think that the NBA is trying to make a statement saying that we're not going to deal with it. Not only is the commissioner making a bold statement, but the players are going to be able to vote, as well as the other presidents and owners. So it's going to be a collective effort of individuals being able to vote.
The big things that I commend the coach and the players on is how they handled themselves through this whole process. And it's one of the things that we try to teach our mentees is that there are a lot of things that can happen. There's a lot of things that are going to happen to you that you have no control over. You will come in contact with people that have ignorant beliefs, that are racist, and it's more about how you conduct yourself versus how that person thinks or acts towards you. I mean, you could have had coaches and players just saying all kinds of things, jumping out, just acting crazy, quitting and not want to play. I'm not gonna, and all kinds of stuff. But the way that they handle themselves, the silent protest at the beginning of the game. I mean, those are the ways that you express yourself, and you express yourself. You express your dissatisfaction without going to a point where you're really making yourself look bad, or reinforcing what that person believes in. It was a great example of how we try to teach our mentees how to conduct themselves when faced with such a situation. So
it is very important to not live up to the expectation of others or the stereotype of others.